striking resemblance to William Craig Lane.
Yeah. Hey, how are you doing, Darth?
Yes. Is that what you really look like?
Yeah, I identical twins with William Lane Craig.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a striking resemblance to Richard Dawkins.
Yeah, interesting how that is. I wanted to try to answer the question that Jambar was running away from you on.
What question was that?
About the ontological grounding of states of reality.
Identity states? Okay, good. Go for it.
Yeah, I think that if the infinitary grounding is a viable option, where you answer in a way where actually all states are derivative states, and even though the series of states that any given state is grounded in isn't well founded, it still nevertheless gives a complete grounding.
No, that's pretty sad what you just said. I'm even surprised that you proffered that. Okay,
that's O'Barrel's solution. It's taken seriously among philosophers.
Then it's sad then that they're appealing to an infinite regress. Okay, so here's the problem. Okay, so in an infinite regress, everything is of a second order state. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so second order states can only be if they're subsequent to a first order state.
No, that would beg the question against this view.
No, it's not. It's not begging the question. Something is of a second order if it is subsequent to a first order. So, for example, if we have 10 people in line to buy movie tickets, right? Everyone after the first person is in a second order state because they're subsequent to the first order state. Okay. Now, you can't have a second order, an ordered state unless within your metaphysic you have a first ordered state. No first ordered state, then nothing will be of a second order.
You're just begging the question against the view.
It's not begging the question. You can keep on repeating the same charge. It's not begging the question.
Well,
now, here's another problem. How do you instantiate an infinite regress?
When you talk about instantiate, are you asking causally?
So you're talking about you're talking about there's an infinite causal succession.
No. Grounding. It's grounding infinitism.
Okay, so when you talk about a grounding, so an identity state, when you say there's an infinite prior series, you just mean that a derivative entity state, it doesn't derive in terms of a causal relation between a prior identity state?
It's grounded in the whole collection of prior identity states.
Right, but we're talking individual. Now, where do you get the causal principle from?
The causal principle is GHEP, as defended by Thomas O'Barrel.
Yeah. You can give me these esoteric remarks, which I consider very cheesy. Mm-hmm. Right? So what you're going to need to do is explain to me, is your whole system, okay? You're talking about a model of reality. Is the system unified concretely and singularly, or is the unification abstract?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay, so when you're talking about a model of reality, okay, you're talking about a whole that has parts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so is the unification at any level of the system, is the unification imposed by something that's identifiable and concrete, or are you unifying the system at any level by an appeal to a statement of abstraction?
Well, if I'm understanding you correctly, the system's going to be unified at every level.
Listen, if you try to dodge my question by using clever vocabulary and nomenclature, I'm going to remove you. Now, you're a known entity. You've done this before. You are not answering my question. You're actually dodging the question while pretending to answer it. Now, is there unity at any level in your model?
Yes.
Okay. Is the unity imposed by something that's identifiable and concrete, or is the unity invoked as an abstract unity?
The unity is imposed.
Okay. What is it that is singularly and concretely identifiable that imposes whatever levels are unity that are real and exist within your
To
model of
suppose it needs
reality?
to be singular begs the question against my view.
No, okay, yeah, we're not gonna play this game. Okay, do you have an identifiable single concrete thing? Okay, an identity state that imposes the realness of unity, and if not, if you don't have something that's identifiable concrete, then the unity will be abstract.
I
Okay.
have identifiable and concrete things which ground the wholeness of
No.
certain
Okay.
states, but
You're not answering.
it's
You're not
not
answering the
something
question.
singular. And to suppose it is
Dude.
to
Am I not
assume
getting through to you?
that infinitary grounding is false. Not to offer an argument
Am I
against
not
it.
getting through to you? Listen to me. Am I not getting through to you?
You're just confused on the dialectical context.
Okay. Listen. If you want to be cheeky, I'm going to remove you from the stage, and you won't ever come up here again. I have dealt with you before. You think that by being verbose and throwing in various nomenclature, you're not answering the question. Is there a singular, concrete, ontological state that imposes ontologically unity among the system?
I've already answered. There's not a singular one. I've already answered this.
Okay. So in other words, you don't have something that's concrete that imposes unity. Is that correct?
And that's not what I just said. I said there's not a singular thing.
What is it that imposes concretely unity at any point? What is it?
Yeah, it's going to be the collection of prior.
No, that's an invocation of abstraction. You're going to have to give me a stipulation of concreteness. Listen to me. I'm warning you. Okay, you know precisely what I'm talking about right now. I know that you know this. If you try to be cheesy with me, right, and just throw out, a philosophically sounding explanation that's not an answer, you gave me an invocation of abstraction. You did not give me a stipulation of concreteness. I want you to name me one thing that is in and of itself self-contained, okay, does not begin to exist, that imposes whatever level of unity there is.
I've already answered there's not one thing.
Have a nice day. You're done.
What? That's it? You don't have a follow-up to that? You're just asking for...
No, you're doing the same old shtick, okay? You forfeit the ability to speak meaningfully, okay? You cannot secure that there is unity at any level. You're not giving me a stipulation of something that is identifiable, defensible, and concrete. When I did ask you for that question, you made an invocation to an abstract notion, not a stipulation of concreteness, right? And so what you don't have an answer for it. So what you're doing is you're repeating the same thing you said before, which was not an answer to my question. I explained that it was a stipulation of abstraction. Abstractions do not stand in causal relations, okay? And so you're bent on just being wordy and not giving me a substantive answer. It's just empty, vacuous philosophical rhetoric. Okay, there's not much substance there. You're just giving me a series of generalizations or invocations of abstractions. You did not give me a stipulation of concreteness. Okay, that's simple. So you were warned a number of times. Okay, I'm very much, so the audience, you should know, I'm very much acquainted with this individual on this platform and other platforms, and he likes to wax eloquent with philosophical rhetoric, much of which is just not substantive, which is just a great deal of just a generalization and notions of abstraction. There's very little statements of concreteness there, if any at all.